What's up, my fellow Kingdom Ambassadors? What's good? What's popping? What's going on? In between, underneath, above, and all of that good stuff. How you feeling? How you kicking? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you kicking? And how you breathing? The moral of the story is, pooch out, pooch a baby. How you doing, boo? Yeah, you read the title, so you know what we're talking about. Okay. Before we get right into this, video, if my face is new to you, what's up, Pooh? My name is Beautifully Yasmin. I am the co-owner of this channel and my other channel called Beautifully Yasmin. The other co-owners of my channels, or our channel, is Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit. All right. If you want to just go ahead and suss out the vibe, see what's going on over here on this channel, go ahead and do such. And my other channel, Beautifully Yasmin, go ahead and do such. But at the end, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And the videos, like the videos, comment down below the videos, share the videos, and all that stuff. And you will be definitely a part of Kingdom Ambassador. And go ahead and drop me a yellow heart down this video so that I know, one yellow heart, so that I know that you're new and I can return the love back to you. But if you are my returning Kingdom Ambassador, I don't need to tell you nothing, because you're not new to this channel, you're true to this channel, baby. So go ahead and drop me 2 yellow hearts so I can return the love back to you. And like this video, share this video. And yeah, let's engage in the comments. I love y'all. I mean it. And I'm so serious about it. I love all of y'all. So, let's get right into this video. And a boom. All right. Alright, so welcome back. So y'all have seen the title, so y'all know what we're talking about today. I know I'm late to the review, but baby, I gotta move at my own pace. I'm not a part of, like, I don't know, trends don't fascinate me. Like, I literally will like literally will like an artist, and as soon as they become like overly like trendy or like whatever, I will stop. Like Yemi Alade, I used to listen to her all the time, had all of her music, and then she became like trendy or whatever, and I just stopped listening to her. Excuse me. So let's get right into it. So today we're talking about Queen Charlotte, the movie. I mean, not the movie. Well, it was a special. Okay, a special. Wait, is it a special? Well, it's season 1, so I guess it's not a special. But we're talking about Queen Charlotte, the series that is birthed out of the Bridgerton, and yeah. So that's what we're talking about. So let's get right into it. So the scene of season 1, episode 1, opens up with Charlotte's brother and some people shaking hands, right? Charlotte sees that, she gets upset, she breaks the statue, she pushes the statue off of like a thing, the statue holder, I don't know what it's called, a ledge, I don't know what it's called, and it breaks, and then the brother comes out, Charlotte storms off angrily, in an angrily manner. The next thing we see her, she's walking outside of their castle with people standing on the side of her, and she's like greeting them, like greeting them, whatever, and she walks to like the chariot, and her brother's there, right? So she gets in the chariot, and they're on their way to England, and she's not talking to her brother at all, and her brother's wondering like why she's not talking. And her brother starts off by saying like, you look like a statue, and she was like yeah, because she has like stuff, how the garment was made, if she did any subtle movement, she would die. So anywho, the gist of that whole scene with her and her brother is basically, Charlotte is headstrong, Charlotte is educated, Charlotte reads. After Charlotte mom and dad are dead, so her brother is her only living family. So that is, and they are the heir to their kingdom, right? And it's little Providence. So now Charlotte is being married off to King George in England, and she's like a bit in like, why would he want me, da 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 da, I'm a stranger to them, woody woody woo, right? So fast forward, she finally agrees to like go ahead and go, because like she was upset with her brother, but he explained to her like, bro, I had no other choice, like we're a small Providence, like I can't say no to them when they request for something. So she understood it, and they go ahead and they go. She gets there and she meets the queen. So she gets introduced to the queen, right? And in the midst of her getting introduced to the queen, we do a flash forward, to her current life in this day and age, right? So Charlotte right now is going through a death in her family. Now this whole show goes back and forth from current to past, okay? So Charlotte right now is going through a death in her family where one of her son's wife was died giving birth, and the baby also died. So her son is definitely like distraught and sad or whatever, and she is on a hunt to get an heir to the throne because none of her children thus far have produced legitimate heir. Now they have had outside of marriage relations, but those make those children illegible because illegible. I don't know how to pronounce the word, but it makes them unqualified to be the heir to the throne, because I guess I don't know why she didn't want to use them children, because those are still children. Anyway, I didn't understand. So now she's going through the woes of, because everybody's eyes is all upon the whole kingdom's eye is upon her family, and wondering when she's gonna produce the heir to the throne, right? So then while that's happening, we flash back to her current life, where this is where she meets the queen or whatever, and the queen, they're talking about her wedding, and she's saying like how she brought her own dress, and the queen was like, well, the dress that we have is more suiting for our family. So then we fast forward to which kind of came off like a racial thing, like, you're black, so what you have to offer is not as good as what us white folks have to offer you. So you gonna take what we white folks have to offer you, and you gonna forget about that black stuff right there. That's what it came off as. So fast forward to the queen meets with her so right now she's speaking on behalf of the king, and we don't know why yet, but she's meeting with some court people from the court of the king, who is her son, because her husband has died. So King George is her son, and she's speaking on behalf of King George regarding Charlotte, who is King George's wife to be. So they're having a meeting about like expanding the invitations to others, because you know there's the whites, and then there's other people, okay, meaning Asians, blacks, Hispanics, yeah, the others, yeah. So at this point, the court is like, nah, we can't expand it to them like that. We've never done that. That's gonna cause, we gonna look foolish. And she was like, well, if we find it good, then they're gonna follow along. And he was like, yeah, you're right, but nah, let's not do that. But she was like, the king said we're gonna do it, so you're gonna do it. So they go ahead and give the invitations out to everybody else who is not white. Okay? And in the midst of people being given invitations, we get a scene of a disgusting old scene of this black man, old Frederick Douglass looking black man, pouncing down on this young lady who looks like she is way too young for him, just pouncing down. And she just like, you just hear the creaking of the bed, and she just laying there like, whenever you done. She wasn't being like hard or anything like that, But it just go watch the show and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, and y'all know back in the day, those were common where like children would be sold off to men to marry or whatever. So we see that scene that happens. He gets his rocks off, and the young lady, her maid comes and pour water for her and lets her know like, oh, you all have been invited to the royal wedding. Now, do y'all want to know who this lady that was being pounced on by this Frederick Douglass looking man is? Baby, she invites Lady Dansbury to the castle, right? But before she invites Lady Dansbury to the castle, there is a scene that occurs where, remember the montage I was telling y'all about? Like, she wake up, eat, get dressed, whatever. Her fits was cute. Now the curls was curling, okay? The girl that's playing Queen Charlotte, young Queen Charlotte, pretty, okay? Pretty. All right. So she's eating her dinner and she's like, I'm not gonna keep doing this. Take me to my husband. So they go to her husband, and he is in the astrology is a thing. Astronomy is a thing. Okay, she goes into his place. Okay, the King George is really into astronomy, and he loves science and just looking into the skies. So he has a room dedicated for that. So when she goes there, he's in the room. I forgot what it's called, but he had like a telescope and he's looking in the skies and whatever. And Charlotte's like, so this is where you been at? You could have been like tasting the creme filling between my legs, but you want to sit here and look at the skies? Like, what's going on with you? What is happening? Like, I'm trying to like give you something. You trying to what? So she ends up like going off on him like, bro, outside of you, before you, all I had was my brother. You brought me to a foreign land where I don't know nobody, and you're the only person I know, and you abandoned me. Like, are you stupid? You're my husband. Come home. So she explains to him like, you've been born into this lifestyle. You like, this is you. This ain't me. So we fast forward to current life with Queen Charlotte, where she is sitting and she's just like hearing her children like talking amongst themselves, and she's just like so out of it. And she's holding a chihuahua. Remember that. She's holding a chihuahua in her lap, and she's in the future. And she's just like looking at her children, just enjoying life while she's worrying about who's going to take the next heir. Right? So then back to current life. The Queen and King Charlotte end up falling asleep. Like, they end up playing around and whatever and falling asleep in that room. I'm pretty I don't know if they did it yet. I don't think they've done it. No, they didn't do it yet. They just chilled together in that room or whatever. Made out or whatever. So fast forward to this is after, now we're back to where she after like she come back to the palace or whatever, and she's walking around with Brimsley, and they're going to like pick fruits or whatever, and she points, and the reason I'm telling you this because it plays a role into something else later on. She's looking at the fruits and she points and she's like, oh, this looks ripe. And while she's trying to touch it, somebody else comes and pick it up for her, pick it off the tree for her, and she's looking like, what? That's weird. I can pick my own fruit. And Brimsley's like, no, they're the pickers. They gotta pick the fruit. Cool. So fast forward from that. Now just remember the picker thing. Okay, so fast forward from that. Now we see the Queen has called Lady Dansbury over to the castle, the palace where the Queen stay at, and she is trying to question Lady Dansbury about what's going on with Queen Charlotte. Have her and her husband had intercourse yet? Right? Now, when Lady Dansbury came over to Queen Charlotte home to come visit her, they talked about the consummation, and because she doesn't, she only had her brother, so she only knew like limited ideas of what intercourse looked like. So Lady Danbury drew it out for her, like, girl, yeah, based off what Lady Danbury experienced with her Frederick Douglass man, she gave her a picture of what it feels like to her. So fast forward to now, the queen is asking Lady Danbury about Queen Charlotte's intercourse with her son. Had they consummated their wedding yet? Like, what's going on? And she's like, so then Lady Danbury end up talking her, she's so smart. I love the fact that like the women in this show are like, the black women in the show are shown to be really smart and really courageous and really like just out of the box. Okay. So instead of her just pouring everything out to her, she's like, look, you seeking a service for me, so I'm gonna need payment for that. So since you have placed a title upon me and my husband, we need things to look like what the title that you have placed on us. The land. My husband is to be invited to the other places that the white people are invited to that has the titles that he has. Just like we need to be in the upshalon with everybody else. Since I'm a part of the Queen's Court and you are now seeking information from me, and you have now called us this, you have placed a title on us at the wedding. Remember, you the one who came up to us and gave us the title. So because you gave us the title, put us in the upshalon with everybody else, and now I'll give you the information that you're looking for. So now the queen was a bit apprehensive, and she's like, do you know why your husband who passed away why your husband and I guess her husband and her father-in-law went to school together? Because her father-in-law is the king of Sierra Leone and the king of England. They were friends. They went to the same school. So she was like, so like, we don't need your money. I don't need money over here. I need the same treatment. She is seeking to be honored. She's seeking for her husband to be treated the same way. And I believe the reason why she's doing this is because so he could stop pouncing on her. He could stop pouncing on her. He could have things to do. So she's fighting for her husband so that like he can be included with everybody else, so that he can have other things to do and stop pouncing on her. Like, just stop. Like, oh my gosh. That girl be laid in that bed, just be like, until he's done. Like, I cannot imagine just a sex life and like I just can't imagine just laying there and just laying there and letting it happen to me. Have that ever happened to me before? I just lay there and let it happen to me? No. There's not a man that has ever just... Now, I will say there's been times where, like, up until my recent, like, relations that I had recently, before then, I never knew what, like, orgasm was. Or, like, what it, like, I just never knew what orgasm was and the things that I was capable of doing. You know? So, like, that, but it was still, like, pleasurable when I was doing it back then. So, I was just like, I don't understand how, I just could not. But in them cases, she had no choice. So, I would have had to if I was in them days. It was not going to be, oh, I just could not. Girl, she had no choice. I'm talking to myself. My bad. So, yeah. And so, that's where we are at. She tells her, like, yeah, they're out there just hunching all day, every day. Just hunching all day, every day. Just consummating. Just consummating. Okay. And she's like, yeah. So then the queen also ends up calling Brimsley and also the king's right-hand man as well over to the palace so she could ask them as well if they've been consummating. And they just lied their little tail off to yelling, yo, they've been consummating all day, every day. Every day, just pouncing. Just pouncing. Okay? Now, BTW, when Charlotte went over there to go see her man, her husband, Brimsley went to go see his husband, his man too. And Brimsley man is the king's right hand man. So they love each other. They like each other, whatever. Was getting it in, child. Was getting it. But the conversation that happened between them, I would not know because I fast forward through it. So basically, after they come back, I believe while Brimsley and his man was doing their dudes or whatever, he talks to the dude and it's like he needs to show some effort towards her before, like, 'cause this is gonna go bad if she don't. So the king ends up sending Charlotte. She's not back at her own palace. He ends up sending her a gift, which is the chihuahua that I mentioned earlier, that in the future she was holding a dog. He ends up sending her that chihuahua. Now, that chihuahua, just remember that chihuahua now. That chihuahua gonna occur again. Okay. So he ends up sending that chihuahua, and she's like, "What is that? Ugh." Like she did not like it. She didn't want it, or whatever. So that's it. She didn't really care for the dog, but they kept the dog or whatever. And to the point where that was pretty much it, child. That was pretty much the gist of it all. The mom was really worried about the son consummating or whatever. And at the end of the episode, they actually did consummate it because he does end up moving in. So she comes to lunch one day or dinner. She comes to dinner one day. This same episode. She comes to dinner one day and he's sitting at the dinner table. And she like, the fuck you doing here? And he's like, I came to eat dinner with you. And she got up and walked away. Because, like, you're not going to do stuff on your timing. When I asked you to move here, when we first got here, you didn't want to move here. So now you want to be here. So they start arguing or whatever. Girl, why they start doing it right there in front of everybody? Like, I know one thing about one thing, babes. Like, I like the idea of, like, doing it with maybe, like, just maybe somebody catching me. Like doing it on, like, a rooftop. Not a rooftop, but, like, let's say, like, them little skyscrapers, hotels or whatever. And, like, maybe, just a maybe somebody could see me. But I can't see them, though. Like, you could see me, but I can't see you. I wouldn't mind that. Or, like, in a living room when somebody could just maybe walk out and see it. Just maybe. Just a maybe. But to do it, knowing people are standing right there, I don't think I would mind doing it in the midst of people, but it has to be, like, hidden where people can't really tell what we're doing. Like, you know, like, but not like everybody just looking. Like, those people were their servers, so they don't have nothing to do but they've just been standing there, so their eyes are all on you. So every little sudden movement you make, they see it. To, like, just knock everything off the table and start making up. Come on now. So Brimsley has to be like, okay, y'all dismissed. Y'all can go ahead. Because I know I would have been like, oh, come on. No, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see y'all have sex. What? Ew. Especially people who are grown. I don't want to see no children have sex. That's disgusting. So Brimsley ends up, like, letting them go, whatever. And you know what happens? Brimsley and his man go in their low quarters and go do it too. So, yeah. They end up, he ended up moving in and staying there. Yeah. And that's where we at now. So we did 1 and 2. So we're gonna do 3 and 4 the next episode, the next time. All right. I love y'all. I mean it. God loves you. You know it. And with that, and I just feel like just seeing Queen Charlotte, just the young version of her, it kind of just gives me like a glimpse of, like, because as the show continues on, you would see like the gradual growth of like how she became who she became, and her attitude and her demeanor, and just like how like the love that her and the king have for each other, so like instantly, is so beautiful. I love love. Like I love love. Okay, I am a relationship kind of gal. Like, I love love, okay? I love being doled upon. I love being gushed on. I love gushing on my man. I love doling up on. Like, I love when the energy is matched. I don't think I've ever experienced my energy being matched before, but I know my husband's gonna match it. But I love love. All right, my family will tell you, like, I be lost in my man. I will be lost, okay, in my man. Now I would not, but before I used to be lost in my man. So I just loved it. But yeah, we're gonna continue on. But yeah, I love you. I mean it. I love you. You know it. I love you. I mean it. I love you. You know it. I love you. I mean it. I love you. You know it. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all later. Okay.